Tonight is your last chance to nominate someone for this year's class of 5 Under 35. 5 Under 35 is much more than a good deeds award. It focuses on attitude. I created the initiative as a way to boost morale and recognize those who are making our community even better. Out of all of the nominations, we'll select this year's final 5 to feature in our newscasts. Their stories will focus on their lives, and we'll also ask their thoughts on what Great Falls has going for it and how our community can improve.
It's just such a cool way to show the community, like you said, when there is that negative spin on Great Falls, what our age range or our generation is trying to do to help grow this community. And I think there's a lot of things happening. I know there's a lot of things happening, and you can only report on so many things. So something like this opens everybody's eyes to all the different programs starting and businesses starting and ideas popping up.
To qualify, the person nominated must be 35 years old or younger and live or work in Great Falls. Throughout the program, we've honored young adults from 14 to 35 in a variety of vocations, from student to police officer, counselor to craftsman. Thank you for all of your nominations of these 75 amazing people in our community. Our first honoree of 2021 is all about supporting her hometown. The person who nominated her says she truly exemplifies the virtue of good citizenship. 34-year-old Jessie Olias co-owns Row River Boutique with her mom.
I think that when people first think of having an online boutique, it probably sounds a lot more glamorous than it really is. There's no glamour to it.
Like many business owners, Jessie has faced new challenges over the past year.
We had to get very creative. You know, people weren't looking for clothes to wear to work. They were staying home. We had to really get creative in the things that we were offering.
Row River wasn't immune to financial setbacks in 2020, but Jessie didn't let that stop her from helping others. She launched the Great Falls Strong campaign, donating more than $7,000 to 60 businesses. She also invited Row River customers to donate to her Adopt a Teen program. She distributed care packages with clothing, masks, hair products, and inspirational messages to 240 teens in the Great Falls area.
There were that many people that, even though it was a tough time for probably the majority, they were still able to say, hey, here's $18 or whatever, we want to help a local teen. And it was just really fun to be a part of.
Jessie's dedication and can-do attitude also led to an adapted business model to help not only survive through COVID-19, but thrive in the future. Thanks to this investment, Jessie's own designs and drawings can now be printed in-house.
That's why we started printing. We just thought we have to rely on ourselves. We can't just rely on other vendors to get stuff to us because it's been tough.
Jessie Olias, one of KRTV's 5 Under 35. Along with recognizing our honorees for their attitudes and actions, the 5 Under 35 initiative also serves as a platform for change and conversation. Every year, I ask each honoree 2 questions. What does Great Falls have going for it? And how can Great Falls improve? Jessie says she sees a lot of younger people who are choosing to stay in Great Falls or who have moved back and are taking an active role in our community.
I think the way that we could improve is to really support our local events, and when there are people trying so hard to make this a better community, to really try to be involved in all of that, and you know, to go to the different events, to support local businesses, to give back if we can, you know, just any kind of way to try to help, to keep helping make Great Falls a better place.
Great Falls roots run deep for 33-year-old Anna Christofferson.
My family owns Bories and Black Eagle. I'm the 4th generation. I've worked there since I was 12 on payroll.
Her entrepreneurial upbringing in the restaurant industry has led to more business ventures. Anna and her husband bought the Heidelberg in March of 2020.
We took over the Heidelberg 6 days before COVID, so we were shut down 6 days after we purchased it.
Even though the timing may not have been ideal to buy a business, Anna is using her energy and resources to improve Great Falls. Just recently, to mark the anniversary of purchasing the lounge, Anna hosted a 6 Days of March raffle and raised more than $1,000 to donate.
CMR for the athletic program for kids who don't have the money or funds to buy jerseys or gear or anything else. So that's my latest.
That's just one of the many ways Anna has helped others as she's learned more about her hometown.
Last April, we did feed 100 families at Borey's for Longfellow School for their Easter dinner because they couldn't afford to have Easter dinner. So yeah, things like that I just didn't realize when I was a kid, or even probably in my 20s, I didn't realize the need was so high.
Anna has also stepped in times of community tragedy to donate part of her business's proceeds to hurting families.
One thing that I've learned is just any small changes can make such a big difference, because once one person starts it, it just evolutionizes and makes such a big difference in our community.
Organizations like United Way, Special Olympics, and Shop with a Cop have also benefited from Anna's generous spirit and servant's heart.
In whatever situation it is, if you can turn it into a positive thing some way, somehow, it makes the biggest difference in the world.
Anna Christofferson, one of KRTV's 5 Under 35. 31-year-old Beth Branham fills her days helping children and families through the Opportunities, Inc. Head Start program.
I am over health, I'm over parent involvement, and I'm over our family services.
Her dedication to helping the Great Falls community navigate challenges doesn't stop there. She's also the woman behind the keyboard who's played a big role in helping restaurants survive the pandemic.
People said that they learned a lot about, restaurants that are here in town that they didn't even know existed, which was really neat to hear. I learned about new places that I didn't know about, and I've lived here for a long time.
Beth created the Great Falls Takedown and Takeout Facebook page with her dad when COVID-19 shutdowns went into place last year.
We did weekly challenges for multiple businesses when we started it, so we would encourage people to go to the businesses that we were going to be visiting that week.
The page's popularity grew quickly, providing a platform for the now nearly 11,000 members of the group to share about restaurant hours, meals, specials, and more.
So I got to meet a lot of the local business owners and hear from them and what impact that had.
And that impact has been measurable.
Some businesses said that their sales went up 70-80%. They were doing better than they had been doing prior to the pandemic.
The pandemic-prompted page became much more than just a place to share food and drink pictures in a time of takeout and restrictions.
So there's a little bit of sense of isolation, and I think that it gave kind of a online community where you could still feel some connection to, the wider community.
Beth's passion, awareness, and willingness to take action have helped keep businesses and people afloat during an incredibly challenging time.
In whatever work you do is that, little things make a difference, and one person can make a difference, and sometimes you don't know what impact that's going to have.
Beth Branham, one of KRTV's 5 Under 35. From the classroom to church and athletic fields, Tony Forster's life is centered around teens and kids.
It's a joy just working with kids and, putting a smile on their faces when we can, and that's kind of the main thing.
The 35-year-old Great Falls native is helping shape the next generation through mentorship. Part of Tony's hours are spent as a tutor in the Great Falls public school system.
Give students rides to and from school. Deliver food baskets when needed, take kids to appointments if they need a ride there, and just help students academically as much as I possibly can.
His positive influence on students extends beyond the classroom. He's also an assistant football coach at CMR and is the head coach for the Great Falls Chargers baseball team. It's a responsibility he doesn't take lightly.
Growing up, I want to say the biggest influences outside my family were coaches, and that was just a big part of my life. They had a big impact on me. Going off to college and playing baseball, and I've played for a lot of great coaches, and just the impact they had on my life is I think what's driven me to this profession or this job.
His coaching philosophy focuses on more than winning. He's invested in players' skills and successes beyond the diamond.
Being a good teammate is a big part of it, because you're going to have success, you're going to have failures, but just being a good person, being a good teammate is a big part of that. And I think they learn that in sports. I think that's a huge quality moving on with their lives.
Tony provides a safe space for his students and players to develop and is dedicated to helping them pave their best path forward.
I think that's a huge thing in our community is building those relationships and doing everything you can to get them to wherever they want to go and succeed. So.
Tony Forster, one of KRTV's 5 under 35.
He was the first person that saw potential in me when I didn't even see it myself. So every day I wear this uniform, I think of him.
29-year-old Staff Sergeant Michelle Rivera Acosta is a munitions maintenance scheduler at Malmstrom. The road to her now decade-long career in the Air Force wasn't always obvious or easy.
I was homeless for a couple months, and I battled that for about 6 months, and then my paternal grandfather took me in.
Little did she know her grandfather had a plan.
The way you're going to pay me is doing 18 push-ups, 38 sit-ups, and running 16-20 mile. And I'm like, okay, sure. And I did that. And little did I know that he actually talked to an Air Force recruiter prior to me coming. And he said that he saw the potential in me. And he made sure that I was going to make it to the Air Force. So that's how I joined the military.
After stops in North Carolina and around the world, Michelle landed outside her comfort zone in Great Falls.
She's like, Michi, give this community a chance. Don't preemptively judge this place. Give this community a chance. And I was like, Mom always coming with the words of wisdom. And I remember driving downtown, scoping the place, and I just felt overwhelmed. And I parked my car, and I started crying. And I look up, and I see the monument of Alma Smith Jacob. And I'm like, why is this community honoring a black woman? So I park my car, get out of the car. I run across, and I read about Alma Smith Jacob. There's so much black history here. And so that kind of led my curiosity to see more things.
She's used that experience as motivation, discovering diverse history in Great Falls.
Stagecoach Mary, we have Eddie Reed, we have so many right now. Hazel Ying Lee, the first Chinese American woman for the WAPs. She died here in Great Falls.
Now she's working with city officials to recognize and honor more people and cultures.
I want this community to feel the same pride that I felt, that sense of relief when I saw Alma Smith Jacob.
Michelle is also using her experiences as a teen to help others now. She's created an organization called Toeses and Noses to support homeless shelters.
I think that's my way of paying forward. In the 3 years that I've been here, I've collected 956 articles of clothing and dropped it off at the rescue mission.
Through all of her efforts, she's working to show off Great Falls' strengths and build a more resilient community for all who come here.
It's been a blessing. I can honestly say that I've never been so, put my hands inside a community and put myself in a community.
Michelle Rivera Acosta, one of KRTV's 5 under 35.
Michelle has a long list of projects and ideas all in the works right now. She's working with city officials to hopefully develop a Key to the City program, honoring people who make Great Falls great. She's leading an effort this month to honor Baseball Hall of Famer Eddie Reed with a mural. Her hope is to also get Juneteenth proclamated in Great Falls and honor pilot Hazel Ying Lee in Lions Park. You can meet all of this year's honorees by heading to krtv.com and searching 5 under 35. Thank you to everyone who nominated inspiring young adults for the program. In Great Falls, Shannon Newth, MTN News.